Hi, I'm Jeanette Pierce with City Institute. And on this segment two of Detroit 101, we're going to talk about all the entertainment options that we can fit into 8 to 10 minutes of content. And there's so many, but bottom line, if you are bored in Detroit, it is your own fault. Okay. As a lifelong Detroiter, East Sider, I've lived in the city and there's still so much I learn every single day. New places opening, longtime places that I never discovered. And I'm never bored. Let's just put it that way. So on that note, let's get started. So first of all, we have over 800 bars, restaurants, and coffee shops in the city of Detroit. Yes, we actually have a checklist that we're updating right now so you can see where you've been and where you haven't. And there literally is something for everybody. So if you want really great cuisine from another country like Bao Bao Fair and East African food, that's around the corner from you. If you want something cheap and easy like a slider and some shoestring fries, that's at Checker Bar. You want to go close to campus and have something from Spain like La Feria and tapas, or go a little farther afield and check out some sweet potato pie from Sweet Potato Sensations on the far west side. You name it, we have it. Do you want to listen to great music? Do you want to have great cocktails or cheap drinks? Do you want to have good beer or cheap beer? Do you want to have great coffee or quick coffee or both at the same time? You name it, and we have it. Let me highlight just a couple that are literally right around campus. So, again, here is campus. Some of my favorites that I just mentioned, right, include the amazing Bao Bao Fair. And this whole block right here, you got Bao Bao Fair, Yum Village, Joe Louis Kitchen, Sapino Pizza's New Center location, The Kitchen by Cooking with Q. And again, if you're in the New Center area by iBio, or if you're not, you're a few blocks away, a quick Q line, Mogo, or scooter ride, and you have all of that right there. We go a little south of campus, and you're going to find Midtown Shangri-La, which is an amazing Chinese. And if you don't know that much about Chinese food, they got all the basics, but they also got some really specialty items like dim sum and all of those things. The historic Whitney Mansion for your fancy type of stuff, which is kind of nice. She Wolf, they make their own pasta on site. Condado Tacos, Barcade. Honest John's is your longtime place where it's going to be cheap and it's going to be open from 7 a.m. till 2 a.m., the kitchen. So if you need a late night food, that's a spot to go. The Block is one of the most amazing restaurants in the entire city. Go Side Thai for something cheap and easy, and good too, right? So literally so many different things. So find out what your favorite is, but don't always just go to the same places. Try out new places as much as you can. We also have world-class museums that we take for granted. The Detroit Institute of Arts, Diego Rivero's Detroit Industry Fresco has been called the closest thing America has to the Sistine Chapel. Can you believe that? And then you also have the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History, which was the largest one like it until the Smithsonian copied off of us. The Detroit Historical Museum, which has won the gold medal for any exhibit in any museum in the United States just a few years ago for their Detroit 67 exhibit. And if you didn't go to the streets of old Detroit when you were a kid, you can go as a big kid now and check out the old streets as well as the train exhibit. So much fun. The Science Center, and of course, Motown, right? So Motown, I mean, you cannot get more Detroit than this. And I get it from a lot of locals. People have lived here forever. To the Motown Museum, they whisper, right? Well, get yourself to the Motown Museum. I got to show you this little house that Barry Gordy borrowed $800 from his parents to, so he could buy it. He turns the garage into a recording studio, and the rest is literally history. This small little space that you can still stand in was actually changed the world. And 100 number one hits were recorded right here at Motown Studio A. So a lot of times we don't go to the places in our own backyard, but this is the time and the reminder that you should absolutely check out these amazing things that people come from all over the world to see. Professional sports, again, so we take it so for granted. We have all four of our major sports teams playing right downtown, and we have a bonus fifth one playing a few miles away from campus in Hamtramck with the Detroit City FC soccer. Yes, if you have not been to a DCFC game, you absolutely have to go to Keyworth Stadium. 7,000 people come to cheer on our team. Smoke bombs and cheers and great food and beverage and just an amazing sense of community. But if you like some of the bigger ones too, we obviously have the Lions at Ford Field, the Tigers at Comerica Park, and Pistons and Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena. Also, if you like things to do, all of these major arenas have huge concerts. So your favorite artist, whether it's Beyonce or Taylor Swift, because they were both here in the last couple months, or anybody in between, are going to come to Detroit. And you are just a walk, scooter, or queue line away from getting to experience that without even having to work, which is another thing that can be a little troublesome during those times. So definitely professional sports. We also have the second largest theater district in the country. Yes, I've counted them. 13,000 theater seats in a 2-block radius, right around Grand Circus Park, anchored by the fabulous Fox Theater, right? So you also have small places like the Gem and Century, and then the Opera House is doing amazing things. If you're not familiar with opera, most of these places have really great last minute tickets for students for very cheap. You can get like front row seats for $20 to the Fisher Theater or the Fox or the Opera House for most shows. So definitely check that out. They call it Student Rush. But we also have smaller theaters like Detroit Public Theater or the Detroit Repertory Theater. And of course, the Hillberry Theater right there on campus with the new Hillberry Gateway is amazing. So again, do not sleep on our theater that we have in the city. And this is all just scratching the surface of the amazing art, music, culture, and community that we have in Detroit. So a couple projects I'd love to highlight here is Detroit People's Food Co-op. They're always looking for volunteers, they're for members, and they're going to be opening just a few miles from campus at the beginning of 2024. You can volunteer at great organizations like we did here at Oakland Avenue Community Farm. There's amazing murals and art throughout the city, like this girl with the D earring. I happen to have mine on as well. And it is just scratching the surface of I think we're close to like 1,000 murals in the city of Detroit. I mean, mind-boggling. So, and there's a great app where you can learn about all of them. And there's Detroit Month of Design and Design Core Detroit, which puts on all sorts of events. And this is one of my favorite murals at one of my favorite places. Techno and House is Black music. So we talked about Motown, but techno was also founded in Detroit. And this is at one of my favorite places in Detroit, Spotlight Coffee Shop, record store, art gallery, music venue. Check it out. It's absolutely amazing. And here we go. This is what we say. Detroit is big enough to matter in the world and small enough for you to matter in it, especially because we get to see these amazing artists, these amazing musicians right in our backyard, and everyone else has to travel thousands of miles for it. So don't forget to stay in touch. Check us out, follow us, and join us at thecityinstitute.com for tours that you can join on your own or book for a group.